Hello, welcome. This is Discussion Point. My name's Archer and I'm joined with some of my family. We're going to be doing some great topic discussion. So my name's Archer, as I said. I am a teacher, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, I'm a producer, and I'm kind of getting into this direction thing, but it's building. And that's pretty much what I do. I'm definitely about the community, and a lot of the topics we're going to be discussing is about you. It's not just about us, it's about you. So get involved, make sure you get involved with the subscriptions, the comments, feedback, etc. So I'm going to pass on to the young lady and let her do her thing.
Hi guys, my name's Peaches. Follow me at Peaches Presents on all of my social media platforms. It is well overdue that we came forward to do the discussion point. Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a spiritual being. I'm following my purpose in healing and encouraging others to be able to be the contributors that they wanna see in the world. So that's who I be. I'm an edutainer. So that's having the balance of creativity and education. I think for me, a long time when I was younger, education was drummed down my head, but having fun and getting creative wasn't. So when I understood, for me, the classes and things that I excelled in was when there was a balance, a teacher who could still make me laugh, you know what I mean? So so I thought it was important to come with that quality in my role in the world. I'm also a relationship broker. So a relationship broker is someone who, young people being able to forge relationships, whether that's in working, whether that's their personal well-being, but tapping into professionals or even people within their homes where they're able to feel stimulated and function. So I'm just honoured and appreciate that I'm an effective practitioner. You know what I mean? It's not something like I've watched a couple YouTube clips and just said, I want to do this. I does this, and the results are out there.
You does this.
I does this.
Come on.
She does do this.
Yeah, I'm a creative in my own right as a spoken word. I used to want to be a rapper, and I say wanted to be a rapper. I have bars, but as an asthmatic who has not helped herself much. Read into that what you will, but the bottom line of it is I realized that rapping wasn't necessarily my forte. I'm a mentor, a co-director of Womanhood Academy, and also work with Lifehood Academy, which is the umbrella organization to be able to have everything else running.
Okay, hi, my name's Femi. I'm a rapper, producer, animator. I kind of do everything. I'm a graphics designer. I think I am the guy who people never gave me the chance, so I learned everything. So from day one, I just I have a creative mind. I had a computer from when I was 13, an Amstrad CPC 464 with a green screen monitor. I was coding at 13.
I know that one.
So so I've been on this for a long time. So that's me. In a nutshell.
Right.
And he's being super modest. He does a
Very
lot.
He does it very modest.
When man says he does a lot or he does everything, he
and
needs
he does it
it
quick as well with the execution of quality. Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
Some people are just like keeping it real humble.
We're starting slow.
Yeah.
And who do we have to my left? The man of the moment.
Well, we're all the people of the moment. My name is Breeze. I am a hip-hop artist, an author, and founder of a hip-hop education company called Student of Life. That came about as a way of me trying to find a way to inspire my community, young people especially. I'd been going into education for a while, doing workshops, hip-hop workshops, rap workshops, helping young people to feel confident in the way they express themselves, their writing skills. But the thing I came across was that they hated school. So I wanted to do something to make learning more fun, and Student of Life, the ethos is basically you always are a student. whether you're in school or out of school, whether you're young or you're
100%.
adult. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of like the message I wanted to drum into them, and the importance of learning and making learning fun. Do you know what I mean? So that's what Student of Life was all about. So yeah, that's me. But there's more to tell about. We're
going to dig into it. I mean, the discussion point for me, how this kind of came about, is the meeting of the minds. I'm excited because I'm sitting with people who I admire genuinely, I respect. I've had the privilege to have conversations and witness the work that's been going on in our community. And I think just the pull of us coming together for this podcast is about taking time to understand what we do, because we do it. We keep doing it. And when do we get the chance to sit down and actually reflect? Like actually have a conversation about why you have Womanhood Academy, why you started your businesses. Like we need to appreciate each other.
Have those appreciation and have those conversations.
100%.
Because even just sitting around this table
Yeah.
and listening to everybody just speak what they're speaking, I was like,
Yeah.
no wonder us four came together.
And that,
Good
and
point,
that, and,
good
and
point.
that, and that is it. And what I want to do is kind of want to go back into the introduction and kind of talk about where I started in terms of what I do, and then kind of we can piggyback off of that. So I'm Jamaican heritage.
What?
Shout out
Booyaka.
to mummy and daddy. And yeah, I mean, I grew up in a household where music was playing all the time. Vinyls were playing. Mumsy was cleaning, and we'd wake up on a Saturday, and the vinyls, the revivals were going. And I have 5 sisters, and I'm the only boy. So there was a lot of, and the oldest. So there was a lot of pressure to lead the family and be something. And just quickly, like in terms of education, like my gran was the only one in the family who went to university at the time. So she was pushing me to go to university. So I had that motivation of, okay, I'm going to go to college and university. Went to college, went to university, did film and media, studied film and media. And then music came and slapped me in the face.
As it does.
It was like, that weren't part of the plan. The plan was either be a lawyer or get into film. And I'd say when I was in college is when I first heard Wu-Tang Clan Triumph and the instrumental that you could buy on a CD. Bought that from Al Price. You guys don't know what Al Price is. There's a place sort of like HMV where you could buy singles with instrumentals and acapellas, old school.
It's like the equivalent of what Blockbusters was.
Yeah,
for videos. They probably don't even remember that either.
Well, we're going to educate you. So I got into hip hop specifically. Music was already in the background, reggae revival. And I wrote my first 16 trying to impress my friends in the cafeteria at college. And it was the worst verse in the world. Horrible. They humoured me.
Do you still remember it?
I have it somewhere tucked. I'm going to bring it out maybe for a future podcast.
I think you should.
But yeah, like that was it. That was like, this is what I want to do. I want to be an MC. I want to use my voice to tell a story. And it just grew and it grew, and I had my first group, the Phoenix Crew. Was 16, 17 years old, and we did Rapology. Choice FM had this competition called Rapology 98, if I'm not mistaken, and we came 8th.
Well done.
It's our first performance. I got the cassette tape recordings of that. And then we met this other group, which was like our rival school. I went to Highgate Woods, and D&K was round the corner, and that was where all the goons were. But in that school, there was another group called the Commotion, which was Tibbs.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Mr. Tibbs, Pirelli. So there was essentially 2 groups that came together. My group was Phoenix Crew. It was myself, A Sharp, and Sway. So Sway was at my school. He was a year, 2 years younger than me.
Guy.
Very good guy, doing amazing things right now. And yeah, we just came together and then we formed the One Crew.
Yes.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I remember the
Very-
one.
Remember the One
Yeah,
Crew?
yeah,
It's 11 of us. We were the UK
11.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
We did a
The
few
One.
bits. The one. And yeah, that group schooled me about lyricism. You couldn't come in that studio and have whack verses. You got Pirelli killing it. You got Sway killing it. Mr. Tibbs, like all of the guys in the group. So that really sharpened my pen. And
I remember Governor.
Yeah, Governor was the beast. Beast.
Yeah.
Super. So that training ground just made me realize that lyricism is so important and musicality. And yeah, the rest was history, because when we departed, I just went solo. I was trying to find my way, and I was just going to all the open mics because you could win money.
Yeah.
And I wanted the money. I just remember going to open mics, winning a few competitions, went to Hackney, and I stood on the stage and I said, I'm from Tottenham, and I didn't really understand what I was doing because I was in a room full of Hackney people, and I got out with my life because I'm here. But yeah, that hustle led me to meeting you. That hustle led me to meeting you. Because we were on circuits.
Yeah, we were. And it's really funny that you say that because, give you a little background. So I used writing in the back of my science book to express poetry. I used it as a release of my darkest days when I was younger. So moving forward, later on, I stumbled across a social worker called Desmond Cope, phenomenal guy, you know, above and beyond in his role as social work. And he set up, we were in Harlesden. I never lived in Harlesden, but I was always in Harlesden, you know. And I remember him setting up a community radio station called People's Choice. And it had a month RSL, with radio station license, for all those who don't know. And we done this, and it so happened that my show was one of the most popular shows, and I had a skill, and I realized that I enjoyed talking to an audience. I never liked spinning vinyl, yeah, but I did like to talk, which I do to this day. And what I realized is I could speak, I could relate, I could talk, have a conversation, and people were relating to the subjects or what I was feeling. So I learned the power of expression from a long time, as well as back then I used to want to sing, and I used to like Karen White, I'm Not Your Superwoman. Big tune.
I'm not your superwoman.
Hey, go on,
Okay.
Classic.
So I used to do that as a jingle for a radio ad. Them times there I could sing, but yeah, I didn't like what my voice sounded like. So I really ripped my voice. I talked loud anyway, so I was abusing my vocal cords because I wanted it to have a kind of husky
you did
sound.
that on purpose?
On purpose. I was literally, I wanted the sound of my voice, and I thought if I whatever muck around, just exhaust it to what I thought I could. Because I wasn't happy with my voice. And then later on, as time went on, I fell in a bit of trouble, you know, self-sabotaged. I had my daughter early, so I was a mum from the day before my 16th. Creativity was still around me. Music, like writing, hanging out with rappers, producers, in studio, like in the grimy shift. Oh, wicked, listen to a bass line. Boom, 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 whatever it was, you know. The aroma, the smells, the people, the humour, the laughs. And that was when I started to I got into with Berry Crew. I was with Intense.
I remember Intense.
I was with
wow.
MCD, and they had me on should I say, they had me on the sound system with them. So when they got bookings, they had me as their hype girl.
Right.
So I was in clubs, rhyming, and my image was very, very kind of like Missy in regards of the look, but in regards of I held the mic, I just showed what it is to be a master of ceremony and to be able to engage with an audience. I done pirate radio station for the best part of 17 years on and off. Bumped into Baby Blue about 2003.
Blue.
And in turn it was Little One. Little One, who was a part of Ladies Night at Deal Real, who picked me up in Hackney, and I was when me and Blue met. Blue was DJing, I was her hype girl. She really liked me, I really liked her. Boom bam. We now became Baby Blue and Peaches Presents. So we worked the circuit, and then it was just so happened like all my life, all I used to see growing up was like Cookie Crew and Moni Love. She flew to the States. Estelle like was doing her thing. You get what I'm saying? And she was working with Shawnee T, I think, and done the Magnificent Seven and whatnot. But I didn't see enough females in this industry. And then I saw a lot of female singers. I met Royal Priesthood. at the time, and that was Roshan and Femi, and that was magic stuff. You know, working with MCD and taking his, like, being schooled, you know, in regards of my craft, how I can make it work for me. Skinny Man, he was when I moved to North London, he was the first. I was the first coach I went to. Yeah, I can't call it a coach because that's what it was. Yeah, but it was the heartbeat. It wasn't any old coach. It was the heartbeat of where people like Mongo, Tibbs, Supernova, all these people just came out and we would write. You know, the mechanics of what was going on for us to sustain this kind of lifestyle was a different thing. But in regards of us getting creative, I watched them, I listened to them. This was their thing, but in turn, it fueled me. And in turn, I listened to what the kind of stuff that they were creating. You know, they was talking about Illuminati, they was talking about poverty, they was talking about the injustice, and they was using their craft to empower. Didn't mean that people weren't still necessarily falling into the stereotype, though. Do you understand? Which was where I had the question marks of this is where we need to unpack.
100.
And in turn, so music, creativity saved my life, but I looked at it more as an equation to heal communities, to empower, and in turn, it's been one of the tools that have enabled me to explore self-discovery safely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that foundation that you mentioned about all the MCs, the legends, is why you're so respected, Peaches.
Do you know what? Because this thing, thank you, I'll take that. I'll take it. But do you know what? I'm like fairly blessed because my daughter, I said I had her young. Deal Real. Let me not go past Deal Real just like that. Because Deal Real in stores was when little one said to me, Peaches, ladies' night, would you come and host? I was like, what is Deal Real? Like, what is that? Going down Carnaby Street on a Friday, early hours, you know, about 5-6 o'clock, meeting up with Tony Tago, Vince, and just all of them, and just being offered for them to manage me, you know, like me and Blue now doing our work and getting bookings, even into film, because Deal Real gave me the opportunity, as Tony was my manager. I done life and lyrics with Ashley Waters, you know, and being able to be Peaches. So they made that role for me. It wasn't like I had a role. They made the role. We need a host for the scene. And it was like, rah. And the amount of money I got paid to do that thing there was like, rah, okay.
Deal Real was the place I had to battle to keep my name. There was another guy called Archer.
Oh, what's there?
Yeah, I
don't know who he is. Who is he?
He's gone. No one knows who he is. But I battled at Deal Real to keep my name. Because he was like, oh, that's my name. I was like, bro, I've been doing this for a minute, you know. So I had to show him real quick.
Like, that's me.
24 bars, and then we never saw him again, bro.
So, that
was Deal Real. Vince knows that story.
Listen, but you know what? It was the training.
The training. We had to battle.
Yeah, come on. I wasn't a battler. Ever a battler, yeah? Because this is where I can't take embarrassment. You get what I'm saying? So I was happy with hosting, yeah? And to be honest, I said some names, but the likes of Ty, yeah? I've got to say his name in this first one because he was one of the people who I met at that point. Rodney P. I met at that point. Low Key,
then
Key, Deal Real.
Yeah, he was back in the day.
What you call it? Logic,
Reveal,
absolutely. Poisonous Poets formulated around that time. You get what I'm saying? And then and then the likes of the in-stores brought people like Cannabis. I've hosted for Cannabis, Nicole Ray, Akon. You get what I'm saying? Most Def,
Kanye.
The list is endless.
On that note, I want to pass over to brother Femi. I'm interested because I do remember you from Royal Priesthood, but I'm interested because your journey, bro. I just want to know how.
And I mean,
I'm gonna try and. I think I've actually never said everything I'm gonna say. I've probably never said all of this before, but I started obviously rapping. Went to Nigeria, started spitting bars, realized that I'm actually good at this, but I was rapping other people's lyrics. So I came back, I kept rapping, I realized I was good at it, And then this when I met Breeze, he had a show called Urban Griots.
Aye.
What year was this?
This was 97.
Wow.
97. So around that time, obviously I met my wife.
Talk the
We
things.
This is the stuff
we
I
put
like.
an album together.
Sorry, say that again.
We put an album
With
together.
your wife?
Yeah, with my wife.
Remind, can you say it one more time?
So we put an album together 22 years ago. Wow. And 22 years ago, I bought a CD burner. So we were well advanced.
Yeah.
So we were burning our own CDs, and I remember people were buying CDs for $14.99. So this was 20 something years ago. I had the big duplicator. So I was going to the computer fair, buying the labeling kit. I was labeling the CDs myself, doing the printing myself, buying the covers. Then I bought a camera. So 22 years ago, I shoot my own videos. I shoot my own videos when we were doing gospel music. There was no. My wife and I released the first gospel hip hop album, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Debatable, another artist, but we released the first one. Then we carried on shooting videos, and then we entered mobiles. We made it to mobiles unsigned finals about 3 times.
Jeez. I think that's what I remember.
Yeah.
It was mobile and sign.
Mobiles unsigned. So then I was always feeling like we were always on the sideline, and rapping with a female, she never got the respect, even though she was dope.
Yeah, she was dope.
People got upset that she was dope. You understand? People got upset. So I felt like, I had to protect her and push her forward and like, she's dope. They got it after a while, but it was hard.
Took years, innit?
Especially in the gospel church, man. A female that can rap, we're not having that weren't right.
Bass.
So I started doing that. And I tell you one thing, I went to university only to make a website for my group. That's the only reason I applied to go to uni to build a website. Yeah. So I learned Java.
See this guy?
Oh my God.
So simply that. Yeah. So I added that skill to what I was doing. So what I was actually doing was I was creating a website on a CD and putting the videos and the tracks on CD and putting that out. People weren't doing that. They didn't even understand what that was. Yeah. So the minute you put the CD into your computer, the videos will play, the tracks were there, pictures. So we created a website on a CD.
Mad.
So was pushing that. I did Life and Lyrics as well. I did some of the tracks on Life and Lyrics.
Yeah, the soundtracks.
So we were doing album launch. We were releasing albums. We were selling a whole load of albums. And I was paying artists back then. And we were 20, 21, 22. We were paying artists. I remember I went to Deptford. Manage was there. So Manage. So I used to show respect to whatever areas I was in. Yeah. So Manage would perform it open for us. Yeah. We just carried on, we did mobiles unsigned, and then through the album launches, I got to a stage where I thought, I don't want to pay no more artists. Yeah. I'm going to do a film. And then the film will replace me having to pay artists. You watch the film, and then we'll rap. Yeah. The film ended up winning a MTV award. So,
man, do you know what I mean?
I did the film simply just for that, and then I was giving out the films with the album, and that's how we got the MTV thing. And then and obviously then my kids came. Yeah. That's when I thought I'm gonna have to give up rapping because of the kids, and obviously put the video online. My first son went viral.
Yes.
We need to break that down.
Break that
down. Let me break. This is not Khalil going viral. This is Kien going viral.
Khalil.
Nah. Kien went viral first.
Wow.
So what happened was Kien went viral when there wasn't such thing as viral videos. Me and my wife were having a conversation saying, these are pedophiles looking at our children. We need to take this off the internet and so on and so forth. So Kien done about 300,000 to 400,000 views in the beginning. So we're doing our music, carrying on, and then we put Khalil's video out, and then Khalil's video completely destroyed the internet.
That was viral.
Yeah, it really was.
That was a continuous viral or re-emerging viral video.
Everyone. It brought Alicia Keys, Tyrese, Ellen DeGeneres,
I remember.
ABC News. But it didn't take off in London till years afterwards.
Yeah.
So we were in Japan. You know what? Yeah, I was speaking to people in China who couldn't speak English. Like, say your name. Say your name. I'm like Femi, Eloy, Khalil. Like it was mad.
Done. Yeah.
It was mad. And when Khalil was going viral, Roshan's album, because she released the album, was killing the iTunes charts.
Yeah,
Like the
it's a
proper
solid
iTunes
album, man.
charts.
Solid.
Roshan was caning iTunes.
I love that.
So we're just sitting
Deservedly.
there, and it was just one thing after another. Then I'm shooting people's videos. I'm producing for people because I learned to produce as well.
Yeah.
A rapper named Kid Cole taught me how to produce.
Rest in peace.
You hear these names?
Boy.
So Kid Cole, yeah, he got killed in Shepherd's Bush.
R.I.E.P.
So we were part of that group as well for a while. We were part of Royal Priesthood and Tribal. We were called Tribal Eclipse.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah. So we were rapping. So we just learned, because we didn't get the respect that we deserve. We learned to build everything ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we build our
Self-reliance.
beats, and then we started teaching people as well. So all the talents I have, my kids have the same talent, and most people around me have the same talent. There's artists that have the same talent.
I kind of want to tell my story with you guys involved. I was invited by some friends to come and perform at an open mic night that they wanted to start. That was Urban Griots.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, cool, definitely, I'd love to do that. And so I went there. I went to the first one, performed. I was the only MC, and there were poets and singers. So it was mainly poets and singers. And I was like, this has got a lot of potential, you know. So I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invite all the MCs that I know to come down, so we can have some more hip hop in here, you know, alongside the poets and stuff. And yeah, so I invited Ty to come down. I invited there was some guys I was working with called Rhythmical Army, brought them down as well. And it was a training ground for artists to improve. And it was when I tell you, the audience was the most beautiful Nubian audience.
Hey.
Man, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so this is not a hip hop audience that wants the rah-rah.
Yeah.
It's like, give me something of substance. So you had to know how to, as an MC, you had to learn how to communicate with that kind of audience. That's where myself and Ty, we always used to say that was a training ground for us, because we did some stupidness on stage, on the mic, that got the crowd going every time. So met Femi there, smooth flow. I think the first time I heard Peaches was on 279.
Wow.
I don't know.
On Choice FM.
Yeah, on Choice FM. I think, and I just remember this strong voice just coming through, and just, I was just like, rah, okay.
See, I remember my first time of recalling you, so face to face, was you being a guest on mine and Baby Blue's radio show.
What?
Yes. I think it was on Itch. It was either
Really?
Itch. Yeah, I think it was Itch. It was Itch with you. So that's Blue. I think Blue might even have the recording somewhere.
Listen, please
Yeah.
find that.
I gotta have a word with her.
Find that.
But I remember that was the first time that I remember seeing you physically. That's something that I remember.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I only met you not a few years, but like maybe it was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
At that party.
Party.
Ohaji.
Haji.
Yeah,
Yes, I
Ohaji's
remember
party.
that. But I heard about you.
But I'd
way
heard of you way
Yeah,
before that,
yeah,
exactly.
way
So
before that, way before
I'd heard of you,
Yeah.
and someone told me
Yeah.
that, you remind me of an MC called Archer.
That's mad.
And so I started to listen out, and I used to hear him.
Yeah.
Heard you in one.
In the one crew.
The one.
Yeah.
That's. I just remembered that, and I was just like, "Who's this guy?" And then I think I heard you, and I was like, "Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?" He's all right still. Someone was requesting me to come and do a show with this Cuban jazz artist, because they heard that I also rap in Yoruba. So I rap in Pidgin English and Yoruba. I started that.
Do a little bit. I'll put you on the spot.
For my life, I thank God. Oluwa Sheung. When I'm feeling hungry, I'm like Mufe Jeung. MCs or Akara wo. The time for Shakara, I'm blacker than another in Anagbada. MCs think they're bada scatter scatter pata pata. Snakes get sadder when I climb up the ladder. That's why I take the P like a bladder. You can call me Didan Dada or Baba Ali Baba. Anyway, so
Let's start right there. The battery's gone. The battery's gone. You came to my school, bro.
yes,
And,
yes.
The impact is resonated way after you left.
Wow.
Bro.
That's
facts.
That's important. And I think that's something that we as creatives do. We sow seeds in hearts and minds, and sometimes it blossoms later on, and sometimes you'll never know. Just recently got back into music, released an EP called Arise and Shine. You see the merch right here. And then I wrote a book.
Hey,
I wrote a book. This is my second book.
You see this? Jesus.
Second book. And you know what, right? I wrote this for all of us.
that is beautiful.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Diary of a Creative Mind.
You see how many fingerprints are on that?
That's what this is. This is we're basically
It's cool.
telling our stories. That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How do we collaborate more? How do we make things work when gatekeepers aren't letting us in? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's so important for us to really share our stories. Do you know what I
You
mean?
just said, I love
Facts.
that.
All right.
Facts.
And I think on that note, I just want to kind of bring this podcast, this part to an end. Say thank you to everyone that's watching. Please send the comments, because the comments will allow us to understand what you get from the discussion point. Because the discussion point starts with us, but it's really about all of us. So I just want to thank the magnificent Peaches,
Love, peace.
phenomenal Femi, and the brilliant Breeze. I don't know if you noticed. I used
Right. I saw that alliteration.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on,
And my name's
teach.
Archer, but we'll be back on the next podcast. This
Yes,
is discussion point. Thank you
And this
very
is
much.
just the start.
Just the beginning.
Let's go.